Welcome, glad you're here. As always, be the change you wish to see in the world. Okay, so we are working on question 51. Where's my PDF? Okay. If you haven't seen this before, it is part of a 100 question California Bar first year exam. If you want details on that, you can go look at the website I have and other details, but there's a link to the PDF. It has an answer key in the PDF, but it doesn't explain why, so that's why I'm doing this. I'm putting it up and I'm going to explain why. Okay, I will also put that on my blog, and if you follow me on Twitter and here, it will be greatly appreciated. And I am doing this nonprofit. Okay, so borrower owed lender $5,000. Payment was overdue and lender retained Ace Inc. to collect the debt. Washington, the president of Ace Inc., assigned Little, an employee of Ace Inc., to collect that account. At the time Washington assigned Little to collect the debt, Washington intended to apply the funds in discharge of a debt to lender for which Ace Inc. and Washington were jointly liable. Little collected the $5,000. The amount collected less Ace Inc.'s fee was remitted to the lender by Washington as payment on the debt for which Ace Inc. and Washington were jointly liable. Now, the question is asking, did Washington commit a theft crime? I'm going to read them out, and then I'm going to tell you what the answer is. Yes, embezzlement because lender's money was entrusted to Ace Inc. Or B, yes, obtaining by false pretenses from borrower because at the time the funds were collected, Washington intended to use them for his own benefit. C, yes, larceny because at the time the funds were collected, Washington intended to use them for his own benefits. D, no, because lender received all of the funds less Ace Inc.'s collection fee that were collected from borrower. Now, I'm going to tell you the answer. And if you want to pause it, you can, but I'm going to say it right now. The answer is yes, embezzlement, because lender's money was entrusted to Ace Inc. Now, I want to tell you something about this question that I noticed, which I don't think it's really a fair question for a first-year law student. I happen to be a real estate agent. I happen to have taken corporate law. I happen to have taken some classes that aren't normally in first year. I understand about agency. And so to understand criminal law and the nuances of this question, you would probably need to have a little bit of understanding of corporate law or agency. I honestly think it's a little bit unfair, but if you knew that Washington was the president of ACE and Little was an employee and agent of ACE, then that the ACE can be held, the employee, the president of the company can be held liable for what the employee did. Now, how would you know that if you hadn't taken it or had some experience? I don't know, but this is a first-year California Bar Law exam question. I'm going to go take us over to a page that has embezzlement on it, because the other thing about embezzlement is, now these are released exam questions, and it is quite possible that you're not going to see anything like that, because when they do something unfair, oh, okay, here we go. They do, all right, sorry guys, I was kind of multitasking here. So yeah, let me take you over to the embezzlement. Okay, so embezzlement is where this meets the elements of embezzlement because Actually, I think I already put it in there. Yes, embezzlement because lender's money was entrusted to Ace Inc. Now, as you know, the person under the person in the corporation can be, Washington can be held liable. Here, I just kind of wrote it out. Since Ace obtained possession as an agent to the principal, Ace Inc. had lawful possession of the time and fraudulently converted the money of another. Ace's action satisfies the elements of embezzlement, and Washington, as the president of the company, can be held liable. For the actions agent. Okay, so that's kind of like brokerage, you know. Anyway, so if you want to go look at Wiki, the elements of it is someone who is lawful possession, and they convert the property of another. Sorry, I'm just doing this like a marathon. I have a little bit of time. I'm trying to get as much as I can in. I'm taking some other classes, okay, for a PhD, and I have a lot of stuff going on. Okay, so here's the description here, and it's fairly good. Now, if you see how it's written, offense, that is from UK or England, but somebody wrote in the United States embezzlement is statutory. But anyway, here's typically the criminal elements of embezzlement are fraudulent conversion of the property. And see, you can click on this link and actually go to this space where it explains what conversion is. The property of another and the lawful possession of the property. So fraudulent is that the conversion be fraudulent requires the embezzler willfully and without claim of right or mistake converted the entrusted property for their own use. Now here is the thing, mistake, if they mistakenly did it, which I believe in this case it does appear to be a mistake, I mean just to give the guy the benefit of the doubt, because he's trying to pay off a mutual debt, but he can't do that. He's not entrusted to do that. He's supposed to pay the money back. Anyhow, guys, I really appreciate your time. I will be putting the details in the blog, and I'm going to have to move on to the next question in the interest of time. And as always, thank you so much for stopping by. Please like, share, and subscribe. And I really would like it if you would follow me, and love to hear your comments. Just put them in the box below, and have a great rest of the weekend if you're seeing this the day I put it up. And I wish you all well in your endeavors. Namaste.